Hi all, my name is Archana Raman. I'm a pediatric occupational therapist for children and for adults. And today we're going to be looking at the correct type of breathing to help your child relax. So a lot of children and adults, young adults, what they do is they tend to do what's known as chest breathing. So they breathe from this part of their body. So if you look at their chest, they'll be doing something like... What this does is it increases the anxiety that's also already in there within them, and if they don't have anxiety, doing this kind of breathing causes them more anxiety and stress. So we're going to teach children what's known as belly breathing. That's breathing from this part of the body, breathing with the belly. Now, a lot of children that come to my practice have weak core muscles. I ask the parents what they do for their core, and usually it's sit-ups and crunches and that kind of thing, Superman training, or doing airplanes and that sort of thing, keeping the body in prone and this kind of posture. Now, one thing that we don't realize is there's a muscle called the diaphragm, which is right here, a dome-shaped muscle. And the diaphragm is a very important core muscle for breathing. What happens is when your child breathes properly, with every inhalation, the stomach has to come out. Okay? With every inhalation, the stomach has to come out. And with every exhalation, the stomach goes in. That's a proper belly breathing. But what happens is children tend to breathe from this area because they have a weak diaphragm, which is also a core muscle. So we're going to look at ways in which we can teach them how to breathe properly with a TheraBand. So if you imagine having a rubber tube around you, it should expand when you breathe with your belly all around you. Okay, so not using this area, but using this to breathe. But when we tell children or adults to use their bellies to breathe, they do this kind of artificial breathing, which then with every inhalation, you tell them to use the abdominal breathing. They inhale, but then what happens is the abdominal muscles go in because they're just trying to push and pull the abdominal muscles out instead of going with the natural flow. So with chest breathing, what happens is the child is recruiting the sternocleidomastoid or the scalenes or the intercostal muscles. And these muscles, when they're continuously recruited to do chest breathing, what then happens is the child develops a neck forward posture, which is one disadvantage, neck tightness and pain in all this area. It's the same case with adults as well. And then cervical compression starts happening because the child then tips their head forward, and the gap between the cervical bones start decreasing with time. And there's impingement on the vagus nerve as well eventually in cases. And this is not good for the body, but I won't go and discuss all the side effects of that. When your child is taught to belly breathe, they can automatically start relaxing themselves, and they can also activate what is known as the parasympathetic nervous system, which is a part of the autonomic nervous system, which is going to help the child calm down. Children with autism, ADHD, sensory processing disorder, Down syndrome and SPD, or cerebral palsy and SPD, naturally tend to have SPD, sensory processing disorder, they naturally tend to have high levels of stress and anxiety, which they don't display on their faces, but you can see it coming out as behavior. So here's a simple technique that you can use. You can use a belt or a TheraBand that doesn't have much resistance. Don't use this with very small children, by the way. What you're going to do is to tie this TheraBand gently around the abdomen and hold it like that. So if you see, if you look here, if I do chest breathing, my hand tends to go forwards and backwards. Can you see that? This way and that way, this way and that way. Whereas if I keep my hands here, I tell the child, keep the hands here, and then breathe with your chest. So the hand muscles goes up and down in chest breathing. Whereas if they do abdominal breathing, they can feel that the entire band will stretch out. See, the entire band will stretch out this way. So they'll feel the resistance and force along this direction and 360 degrees when they do abdominal breathing. So that's what they should notice, and that is good abdominal breathing. So breathe out. So as you can see, there was none of that forwards and backwards moving that was happening. When I'm doing proper abdominal breathing, the band will expand like a tube to the side. And you can make this slightly tighter for them to work under resistance as well, against resistance, sorry. Okay, so this is how you teach them band breathing versus chest breathing. So you'll now teach the child without much explanation. You just tell them the technique and tell them, don't do chest breathing, but do band breathing where the band stretches in and out across your diaphragm. I hope you find this video helpful, guys. If you have any questions, do pop them in the comments box below or send us a message. I'm leaving my WhatsApp number down below for any consultations at 0091 951 hit us if you have any questions, doubts, queries, or consultation related queries. Good luck, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.